informs my Christianity. But this isn't about my theology, but I think it's important for you to know who I am before I tell this story. We tell Esther in the synagogue. We read Esther, the Megillah, the whole Megillah, every year at Purim. We're a little late for that. We're actually moving right into Passover right now. But we do tell the whole thing at Purim. And Jews know the story very well because we go from the time that we're very little. And it's a big party, and there are noisemakers, and we go in costume. And adults, frankly, are supposed to get drunk in the synagogue. And you have noisemakers because we're supposed to drown out the name of the bad guy, and you've been studying, so you know that that is Haman, yes. So if you feel compelled to make noise when I say Haman's name, you may do so. Adults are supposed to get so drunk that they can't tell the difference between the good guy who is Mordecai and the bad guy who is Haman. So in the synagogue, during the reading of the Megillah, it's kind of a constant cacophony. But I know that you are sober today, so I am not inviting you to make a constant cacophony. And you probably know that Esther means, have you got to that? You know what Esther means? It means hidden. There are hidden things. There are 2 books that don't mention God at all in the scriptures. Esther is one of them, but God is everywhere. God is everywhere. Now I'm taking a little piece out. I'm giving you a context. I'm not telling you. I want to be able to tell this whole book one day, but I'm telling you a bit from chapter 6. So at this point in the story, some stuff has happened. Queen Vashti has been dismissed. The book does not say that she has been killed, but we have assumed she's been dismissed by being done away with. For refusing to appear to the king and all of his drunken buddies wearing nothing but a diadem. And she's been replaced by a beautiful young woman, Esther, our hero. And Esther has a cousin, Mordecai. Mordecai's the one who put her up for all of this. Haman is furious about Mordecai because Mordecai refused to bow down to him. And he just has something stuck in his craw, and he got the king to sign a law to have all the Jews put to death on a certain date. And Mordecai wears sackcloth and ashes over this, and has gone to Esther and asked her to intervene on behalf of the Jews. But Mordecai had also, at some point, discovered a plot. So we take up the story in chapter 6. And I'm using the Jewish Publication Society translation. And I hope you'll see that there's a difference. If you have a text in front of you, put it away. I don't want you reading along. That night, sleep deserted the king, and he ordered the book of records, the annals, to be brought. And it was read to the king. There it was found written that Mordecai had denounced Bigtana and Teresh, 2 of the king's eunuchs who guarded the threshold, who had plotted to do away with King Ahasuerus. What honor or advancement has been conferred on Mordecai for this? The king inquired of his servants. Nothing at all has been done for him, the king's servants replied. Who is in the court? The king asked. For Haman had just entered the outer court of the royal palace to speak to the king about having Mordecai impaled on the stake that he, that is Haman, had prepared for him. "It is Haman standing in the court," the king's servants answered him. "Let him enter," said the king. When Haman entered, the king said to him, "What should be done for a man whom the king desires to honor?" Haman said to himself, "Whom would the king desire to honor more than me?" So Haman said to the king, "For the man whom the king desires to honor, let royal garb which the king has worn be brought, and a horse on which the king has ridden, and on whose head a royal diadem has been set. And place the garb and the horse in the charge of one of the king's noble courtiers. Then let the man whom the king desires to honor be attired and paraded on the horse through the city square, while they proclaim before him, 'This is what is done for the man whom the king desires to honor.'" "Quick then," said the king to Haman. "Get the garb and the horse, as you have said, and do this to Mordecai the Jew who sits in the king's gate. Omit nothing of all you have suggested." So Haman got the garb and the horse and arrayed Mordecai and paraded him through the city square while he proclaimed before him, "This is what is done for the man whom the king desires to honor." Then Mordecai returned to the king's gate, while Haman hurried home, his head covered in mourning.